Hello chess lovers, previously I have already showed you a game played by Robert James Fischer and Greenblatt program. Here is another game from that free game match. Greenblatt program is on the white side and it started with e4, c5 by Bobby Fischer, Sicilian defense, knight f3, g6. Bobby Fischer is going for accelerated dragon, d4, bishop g7, knight c3, c takes d4, knight takes d4, knight c6, bishop e3, knight f6, knight takes c6, b takes c6, e5, knight g8, f4, and now Fischer plays f6 trying to destroy this strong pawn chain. E takes f6, knight takes f6, bishop c4, d5, bishop e2, rook b8, attacking the pawn on b2, and a bad move by Greenblatt, b3, which is weakening the a1 h8 diagonal. We can see later that this weakness becomes fatal for white. A better move was bishop d4. Now if rook takes b2, then white can go for this beautiful tactical shot, knight takes d5, attacking the rook. But instead we see b3, and now the knight jumps to g4 square, both attacking the bishop, and also this knight on c3 is attacked. Bishop d4. Fischer played e5, but actually he missed another strong move. Can you find the best continuation for black? Ready? Knight e3 is very strong. Actually, there are so many threats, both attacking the queen, the pawn on g2. The idea is that if bishop takes e3, then bishop takes c3, forking the king and the rook. But also there is another very dangerous threat. If, for example, queen d2, then black can capture on d4. And now if queen takes d4, then knight takes c2 check is winning. Let's go back, but after bishop d4, Fischer played e5. F takes e5, black castles, controlling the f file and not allowing white to castle. Bishop takes g4, queen h4 check, g3, queen takes g4, and we see the exchange of bishops. Now white played a very bad move, rook f1. It was better to play, for example, h3 and kick away this bishop and then castle queenside. But this rook f1 gives black an easy chance to gain advantage. Here comes rook takes f1, king takes f1, and a strong move by Fischer, c5, luring away this bishop in order to win the pawn on e5. White played bishop f2, but Fischer is now simply capturing on e5. Now the knight on c3 is pinned. Bishop e1, rook f8 check, and with this beautiful rook maneuver, Fischer is intensifying the pressure on c3, h3, and Fischer captures on c3. Bishop takes c3, bishop takes c3, rook f1, bishop f5, and now Fischer has a strong bishop pair. Rook f2, h5, and of course this is enough to win the game. Rook e2, king f7, rook e3, bishop d4, rook f3, king e6, c3, bishop e5, rook e3, and there it goes, d4, and black is getting a very strong passed pawn, and there it goes, Fischer is pushing the d pawn, d2, rook d1, bishop c3, king f2, bishop g4, rook h1. This is just a hopeless position for white, but as we can see, Greenblatt was playing up to death. Rook f1, king d3, Fischer is not hurrying to promote the pawn to a queen. The king is coming to support the pawn. King g2, and now comes this beautiful bishop h3 check, winning the rook, b4, d1 queen, and now comes queen e2 check and queen g2 checkmate. Actually, we could see that Greenblatt was playing terribly and was not managing to go deep into variations. And Fischer, of course, punishes the computer for that. I hope that you enjoyed this game. Good luck.